The challenge is based on hunger. This is definitely a survival program. The world's most dramatic wild. They put a pair of male and female completely. Strangers in the wilderness. No people in. No food or water. Not even clothes. And let them survive on their own for 21 days. If you complete the challenge, you will receive $100,000, equivalent to about 2 billion years of Vietnamese money. Do you dare to try? This time it was Ryan. 32 years old, a wildlife trainer. Regularly living outdoors. They built countless camps, and you can even hunt bears with just a stick. All kinds of skills like making bows and arrows. It's all practical practice. You've applied to the program thousands of times because I want to try one of the world's toughest challenges. Joining us is Sumit. 32 years old, he owns a small farm with lots of animals. Since childhood, she has lived in wild conditions. The family moves frequently. Learn basic life skills such as campground. But she had no experience of survival in the jungle. Make this a big challenge for you. They were released into South Africa's Limpopo, where there's untamed grassland, high mountains and water resource, the most in a 10 kilometers radius. It's where crocodiles regularly appear. It attracts a lot of predators. Lack of resources turn this place into a battlefield of death, with species like elephant. Africa cause more than 500 CA deaths per year. There are so many venomous snakes here that even the cameraman, he was also bitten and had to be rescued by helicopter. Just keep the left leg. It's really harsh. Right in the show car to the venue, they take off their clothes. They start moving quickly towards the point of focus. Ryan almost stepped on a dangerous snake. It can cause immediate shock and death. There's no serum that works. After a fight, my mind caught the snake. Not long after they met, Ryan immediately gave his booty to share. Summoned completely conquered by Ryan. To people carrying survival items including small knives, mosquito nets, and 8 meals sponsored by the program. In a wilderness like this, the first thing is to find water, but the ground temperature is almost 50 degrees Celsius and it's very thorny. Makes it hard for them to move. When not wearing shoes. Ryan couldn't stand it. I cut a piece of bark to make my own shoes. After a few steps, they were full, hunting leopard footprints, species that are nocturnal with extremely good eyesight, sensitive hearing, and strong bite force. It can take down prey 3 times larger than its body. Ryan just walked along the road and collected 10 resources, overheard the roar of the elephant. When they saw an elephant, they were afraid to run away. After 6 hours, they reached the riverbank and chose a place. Ryan wasn't in a hurry to set up camp. He was preparing materials. After the fire, they cooked drinking water and started a camp. Night came and elephants suddenly burst into the camp. Then there's a cheetah that attacks elephants. It makes them afraid to speak up. The next morning, check around. They saw many leopard footprints and rushed to camp. In the evening, Ryan prepared more wood to fight wild animals. Midnight area around the camp like a zoo. They panicked all night without sleep. To the third day, Ryan's looking for a tree with 2 heads. Using bones as arrowheads and bark to tie. Finally made a bow and arrow. In the afternoon, I started hunting. As a result, Ryan couldn't hunt any animals. But I found a fig tree. Climb up. He picked a lot of fruit and brought it back to the camp. Night to Suman, still scared by the footsteps of the leopards. Hunting around the camp and not daring to sleep. To the 4th day, after a day of not eating, not drinking, and not being able to sleep, I started to cry. The will to challenge begins to fail and decides to give up. Ryan persuaded her all the time, but to no avail. Seaman finally left the challenge. Although very sad, Ryan decided to complete the remaining 17 days on his own. Early morning on Thursday, he was awakened by the sound of leopards hunting around the camp. I was about to go out and see a scorpion. The Telsons are one of the most venomous scorpions in the world. But if you remove the stinger, you can eat it. I finished cooking and found another piece of meat. Bring it back to camp. He continued to hunt for the next few days. But still no results. Until day 9, because there is not enough protein. Ryan was very weak. It was a storm that night. An elephant suddenly burst into the camp and began to crush everything that scares you so much. On the 10th day, I was still afraid. I can only keep the fire burning stronger. In the afternoon, I caught a lot of caterpillars and hurried them back to camp, grilled up to eat. When I arrived at the camp, I was harassed by two big animals. I screamed away. To the 11th day of sleep deprivation and anxiety, Ryan's starting to get nervous, and then realized that I can't fight with wild animals. Alone, I finally decided to give up. Ryan and Seaman's challenges on day 11. I thought it turned out to be all theoretical. This is definitely a survival program, the world's most dramatic outdoor. Oddly 25 years old. As a hotel employee, call yourself a survival expert. After the naps, her parents taught her the skills of hunting and trapping. But she's often ridiculed for being blonde. With a strong will, you join the program to prove your resilience. Mike is 32 years old. He's a banker and a survival expert. Outdoor, he has survived in many dangerous places around the world. 56 years old, he lost his younger brother a year younger in an accident. Outdoor survival victims. Mike joined the program to make his dreams come true. Unfinished brother. Two were taken to the rugged interior of Botswana, Africa, with a terrain full of thorns and scarce resources. The dry season makes it more difficult to find water. And there's also ferocious African elephants and these guys, dangerous predators vying for scarce water resources. After being towed to the site, they met in the wilderness. Be quick and start studying the map. Identify the water source they're on their way to. They haven't been gone long. They've been scratched by a thorn. To endure the scorching sun, they found a dirty water hole, put mud on people to protect them from the sun, and keep going for another 4 hours, to another water hole. Allie doesn't want to camp here, because there's nothing and water can't be drunk. Mike gave in. Keep looking for water with me. To more hours. After hours, Ollie started showing symptoms of heat stroke. Go on till dusk. They just got to another water source. When it's getting dark, Mike picked a spot and quickly set up camp. But heat stroke leads to dehydration. Allie's condition is getting worse. Mike tried to light a kettle, but Adley refused. Because there is no shelter at night, they're easy prey for predators. It wasn't until dark that they started the fire. At night, the cry of animals. Being around makes them panic. To the next day, both are extremely thirsty, but there's no water heater. They drink dirty water that smells bad. This water is filled with dangerous pathogens and bacteria. If the infection is mild, diarrhea, a severe fever can kill you. Mike found a turtle shell he was going to clean to make it. But even if we try, we can't get rid of the smell. To give up. At night, Atlee sobs because her legs lose feeling. The program team has to come and give you an infusion, but by morning the situation had not improved. Forced her to be placed in a temporary medical camp. The doctor confirmed that she was infested by drinking dirty water, and ATL had to withdraw from the challenge. It made Mike very depressed. On the fourth day, the lack of water peeled off his lips. I used Adley's cloth bag to filter through the dirty water and drink it. To the 5th day, you eat lotus leaves, picked a dry melon skin to use as bait. And then he caught some grilled insects and ate them. To the 6th day, you're disturbed by insects. It makes the spirit worse. The night comes to the loneliness and hunger that makes you unable to sleep. Even at midnight, I found a hunting dog stalking me. But you scream and make it run away. Day 7. To prevent large animals from attacking. Mike marked the territory around the camp and saw a frog. I was heartbroken to remember my brother who died, who loves frogs very much. To the 8th day, realize that if you continue to collapse, you can't survive. To the 21st day, I was determined to lift my spirits and begin to strengthen. Back to camp. And then I started noticing the birds in the trees. But there's nothing we can do, and we're going to catch lizards and squirrels in the ground. I've been busy all day with nothing. Think about making a trap. He used the surrounding tree branches to set traps. Then I went to the puddle and picked up an 8-inch stainless steel. On the way home, I was lucky enough to find 2 birds, hungry enough to burn your eyes. You don't wait to cook. You eat one raw on the spot. And go back to camp and cook the rest of the fruit with the leaves and eat it all. To the 9th day, nothing was found when checking the trap. You use 8 to catch a lot of white termites, cook on the fire, and eat. To the 10th day, I started to have a stomachache for no apparent reason. Assumed that the body lacks minerals. Then found a ghost plant and cooked to eat. This plant contains poison. Eating too much can cause stomach spasms or loss of consciousness. And it wasn't long before he started dizzy. The program team is worried you're poison. Eating too much grass. She had to intervene urgently to check. But I didn't find a serious problem, so I left. To the 12th day, with our weak constitution and our will to challenge crumbling, I couldn't take it anymore and decided. Withdrew. Both of them lost 7 in the challenge. This is definitely a wildlife program, the most dramatic in the world. When they put a pair of male and female completely, strangers in the lands, barren, no food, no water. They don't even have clothes to handle themselves. For 21 days, if you pass the challenge, the reward will be 100,000 United States dollars. Do you dare to join? On the southwest side of the Bermuda Triangle are the Andros Islands, more than 700 islands, where fresh water is extremely scarce. Only a few islands have potable water. Under the dangerously fast-flowing water, there are 5 types of sharks, including great white sharks and tiger sharks. In the movies, without human intervention, the insects here reproduce freely. It's typically blood-sucking bugs. This challenge begins with 47-year-old Lisa, a nurse who claims to be strong in Louisiana. It's called the Ferocious Mermaid. Outside the main job, Lisa is the captain. They often take tourists to the beach. Basic survival skills on the island. Has become proficient with you. Joining this program is to prove, for my best friend are struggling with breast cancer, that just be resilient. There's no difficulty that can't be overcome. The next one is Joe, 40-year-old diver and veteran. 25 served in the Navy. You've been through survival training. Wild harsh. They say that where you come from. People will forget the name Aquaman and remember it. Joe King. After affirming that I just need no hands, without legs, they will persist to the end. Both of you have reached the designated location and thrown away the object. Then they met at the beach. Just met. Lisa then asked how this mermaid felt. Joe replied, "Ask the creator, is this mermaid haircut serious?" So you do carry survival gear, including lighters. pot, and small knife. They looked at the map, and they noticed that there was a lack of fresh water. They have to connect. They move between islands to survive, because it's about 40 kilometers. So they decided to build a raft and start collecting. Collect pieces of trash, drifting on the island, to make, when it's dark, mosquitoes and insects start attacking. They cut down trees and set a fire to keep warm overnight. The next morning they were ready to leave, but the spiny corals hurt their legs. We have to watch out for sharks. After 4 hours in the water, Lisa's starting to show signs of hypothermia, and not long after, Joe was also upset. Fortunately, they saw the island in the distance. G persisted in pushing the raft ashore. Let's both get on the island and warm up and rest. Third day Lisa because of cold and mental breakdown. But Joe always comforted her. The island has no fresh water. They continue on their way after they are mentally stable. After more than 2.5 hours in the country, they reach the third island. Lisa finds a water hole that finds its seawater. Made Joe 7 hope. Lisa did not give up. She kept looking and eventually found a hole. Let the water boil and drink together. Replenish with water. It's like being resurrected and getting a good night's sleep. Wednesday Lisa uses some of her hair to thicken, because the surface of the island is limestone. When the shoes are finished, it starts to get overcast like rain. They'll build a roof from the leaves to protect against the rain. Friday when looking for food on the island, Lisa spotted a crab. He came to help but couldn't get it back. Happened to see a bird's nest and got 3 eggs. Lisa boiled it and found it was a feather egg. Eventually the two struggled to eat it all. Then I went to the beach and picked up some sea snails. When he was about to go ashore, he was accidentally stabbed in the leg by a snail. Lisa, simple first aid, give it to me, and they boil it. To the 9th day, they studied the map to prepare for the next island. Because the old raft was disassembled, we had to rebuild the raft. But that night, the big storm destroyed the camp and they froze. Day 10, Joe finds the raft gone and the two rush to pull it back. They looked at the island 20 miles away. That night Joe had severe stomach pain and rolled all night. By day 11, Joe's condition didn't improve. I think I have a recurrence of kidney stones. Lisa is a nurse, but no medicine can only comfort him. 10 a.m. Joe tries to push. Raft into the water to people heading to the island 30 kilometers away. For days without eating enough. They can only flow with the water. By the afternoon they had drifted more than 5 hours. The Doe condition is getting worse. Finally Doe couldn't bear to say she wanted to give up. Lisa does not keep because health is the most important. After the program team confirmed, they took Joe out of the ordeal. After Joe left, Lisa kept floating at sea until evening. She fixed the raft to spend the night up there. But being tortured by mosquitoes can't sleep. Day 12. Lisa couldn't sleep all night and kept getting bitten by mosquitoes. She gets fresh water on the island, but the water smells bad. Day 13 Lisa studied the map and decided to spend 3 more days on the island to improve the raft and find food, because there's 27 kilometers to the exit point. For such a long distance, climbing a raft alone is impossible. So Lisa used an oilcloth and a branch as a sail. She also made a roof with branches and palm leaves. All that time, she's constantly bitten by blood-sucking insects. It causes the body to lose water. Take a break. Lisa's making fish nets out of old nets. But I didn't catch anything. On the 15th day after half a month, he ate only a few sea snails. Lisa is exhausted. She's often hypoglycemic. She's worried about sudden fainting. That afternoon, while looking for food, Lisa was too weak to sit in the water. Finally found some sea bugs to bring home for cooking. On the 16th, Lisa was about to leave for the island. Next, waiting for the tide to rise so that the water flows towards the island. When everything is ready, you're on your way. The chamber works. You don't need to climb, you need to rest. But she didn't expect that. Some of the sharks were quietly surrounding. Just in time, Lisa, not knowing what to do, some dolphins showed up to chase away sharks. Smart dolphins saved Lisa's life. After hauling a raft to a new island, she fixed the raft and immediately went for fresh water. Then light a fire. 17th day, because it is 24 kilometers from the evacuation point, Lisa needs to keep moving. In the next 4 days, before entering the open sea, you have to visit 3 islands to collect 10 fresh water. Hurried task, Lisa pulled the raft onto the road. She drifted 1 day and 1 night to a small island. In the early morning of the 19th day, she continued her journey, but yesterday's sun burned her skin, plus soaking in seawater. It hurt so bad. That afternoon, Lisa to the last island with fresh water. But I found that the water was running dry. In times of despair, I don't know what to do. It suddenly rained. Lisa quickly caught some rainwater and looked for food. Caught a crab in the rock crevice, brought home cooked. It was cloudy that night. The 20th day, the weather was still scary. Lisa sat on the raft thinking. I noticed that the raft couldn't withstand the storm, so she stopped at a nearby island, waiting for the storm to continue. As soon as you get to the tree, the storm comes. The heavy rain and wind all night made Lisa shiver and cry. 21st day, Lisa checked bamboo raft. It was almost completely destroyed after the storm, but there's no strength left to reinforce, so we just keep going. When looking at the map, she discovered that the next evacuation point is 10 kilometers away. This area is full of poisonous jellyfish and aggressive sharks. After 2 hours, the wind suddenly stopped. You have to climb little by little. That's when a shark swam in, but driven away by her screams. After hours of swimming in the sea, Lisa finally made it to the sea. I saw a rescue boat coming. She completed the 21-day survival challenge. Lose 9 kilograms after 21 days full none.